what's up?
Red Panda Anthem.
Red Panda, what's good?
Red Panda Anthem.
Your boy.
All right. The one tip I use that you use to not panic about the market over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I want to share this with you guys. At the end of every Friday, get you a notebook, old school, or you can do it in Google Docs. But literally write if the market ended up for the week or it ended down. So when everyone was panicking last week, and this is the thing that I love about memories and going through my notebook, the same headlines and fears that people had about last week was the same headline from the year prior. So they're stoking all of this energy. And when you understand what the cycles are in the market and when the funds are actually buying, the funds really buy really heavy in March, really. And we talked about that before, I think on episode 23 of Market Mondays, right? But every February, there is a lull when the market slows down and we have these deep dips. And then midweek, I told you we was going to fall Tuesday and Wednesdays. Those are your ideal times to buy. And then we ended up the week strong because Monday and Fridays are the heaviest buying days. Also, if you buy at the end of the day, you'll be able to get higher alpha on your portfolio than if you buy at the beginning of the day. So literally the tip is I want you to every Friday, write if the week ended up positive for the week or negative. And when you flip back year by year, you'll be able to see, okay, March, it typically does this, February does this, and you can know week by week what to expect out of the market for the overall S&P 500. In that way, you won't have to panic.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
There you go.
I actually did that.
Anything you want to say about that? Or?
Oh, no, I was going to say I actually did that because we saw that there was earnings last week. And that was one of those things, man, when you see the market trending in a downward, it on the other side, it's like, wait, there's so many opportunities that you got to be disciplined to say, all right,
yeah,
I know this is a good opportunity, but I was focused over here. And so like what I was just doing last week was just trying to block out that noise of saying like, there's so many opportunities, but which ones were I focused in on? What did I write down in December and said like, yo, this is going to be my targets for 2022. And so Google was one of those targets. And I was just like, you know what, this is going to be a great time. I seen a great pullback. I knew that they were going to be reporting earnings. I went to estimize.com just to see what the projections that Wall Street was saying for their earnings. And at 3:30, I believe Wednesday, I was like, all right, I'm going to invest right now. Boom, did it. Obviously, we saw what happened. They destroyed their earnings and the stock went up, but they also announced a 21 split at the same time. And
Amazon.
So I'm going to get there. I'm getting there.
Amazon announced a split, not Google.
No, Google.
No, Google announced a split.
No, Amazon didn't.
Google, yeah, right.
Google 20 to 1. So people always, and so like I know there's a lot of new people here. So just going over what a split is, right? I always tell people like this, right? If I gave you 5 singles, or if I gave you a $5 bill, do you have the same amount of money? And most people will say yes. And I'm like, well, technically that's what a split is, right? There was one that was 5 and now you have 5 singles. And so if you had 1 share of Google after July or after August, that 1 share is now turned into 20. But what happens is that the stock price gets cut down by a 20th, right? So you divide whatever it is by 20. I think it's over 3,000. So it bring it down to like maybe around
20, it's 2,700 range, like almost 2,800.
Yeah. So each share probably be in that 120 to 135 range.
Still.
It's a steal at that price, right? As opposed to when I'm looking at it as a retail investor now, I'm like, listen, it's 2,700, it's 2,800. That's not affordable for me right now. I'll have to buy a fractional share. Now you don't have to, right? In July or August, whenever the split goes through, now you can buy a share at $127. So it becomes even more of an incentive to say, all right, this is Google, right? We know what they're doing with YouTube, right? The number, Ian, this is like breaking news alert. Number 2 in advertising in 2021. You know who number 1 was? Who passed them? Amazon. Amazon did 31 billion in the advertising business. Google did about 29. So that was like crazy stat that I saw. But now it's an incentive to buy it. People are going to load in and buy shares, and because it makes sense, right? We know the strength of this company. We know the long-term vision of it. We spoke about YouTube plenty of times. So
This that Red Panda Anthem.
Ian, what's up?
Red Panda Anthem.
Red Panda, what's good?
Red Panda Anthem.